So, hello everybody. This is our third video on the basics of accounting. So, again, I'll introduce myself. My name is Assistant Professor Mayuri Tavde. I am from PS Modern College of Engineering, MBA department. So, as requested, this is the third version of the video. This is the third video of the basics of accounting. First, we have done fundamentals of accounting, then basics of accounting, and then probably we are continuing with the basics of accounting. So there are certain terminologies which I've already explained in the first and second video. So please do watch that particular video. So we'll start with what is capital expenditure. So what do we understand by capital expenditure? So capital expenditure also refers to a capex, is the fund used by a company, firm, enterprise, or an organization to acquire, upgrade, and maintain its fixed assets. So capital in the sense to acquire any kind of a capital. So when we say when we are buying any kind of an asset for the utilization of a company or any kind of a business, so we are spending our money, our cash to it, and as well as those fixed assets which we are purchasing, which we are doing a capital expenditure for that particular fixed assets is helping us in generating the revenue. So those equipments, those plant and machinery, property, or anything what you are buying as a fixed asset for your business is definitely going to help you generate the revenues on for a longer period of time. So such assets includes its P, P, and E, that is plant, property, and equipment, which are mainly workstation, machinery, infrastructure. Such assets are usually long-term and offer productivity for more than one accounting period. So it's not just like I have purchased the machinery today, so I'm going to sell it tomorrow. No, I'm going to sell it after a year. No. So if I purchase a machinery for my particular business, then probably I will be carry forwarding it until and unless its lifespan ends. So that is what a longer duration or longer term year means. So when an enterprise or organization makes investment on asset for generation of profit in the day-to-day, in the day to come, such expenditures are mainly capital in nature. So when an enterprise or an organization makes investment into an asset, again, the purpose is merely generating profit. So in the day to come, such expenditures are mainly called as capital in nature. Therefore, capital expenditure companies and firms can buy new equipment or even use it for maintenance of any kind of an asset. So what is the example of the capital assets? If we can see in the above definitions, we have already gone through it, but let's see. Office building. So expenses concerning acquisitions and subsistence of a building or buildings. So that is what is said as a capital expenditure. Then next comes workplace equipments like computer, printer, coffee machine, furnitures, other equipments, whatnot. Okay, so the employees which are using for the purpose of the revenue generation. So that is what is said as workplace equipment. And comes the patent, copyright, and trademark are also again considered. Whatever expenditure we are making for these kind of intangible assets are again considered as capital expenditure. So capital expenditure are the expenses incurred by the firm for acquiring, upgrading, and maintaining the tangible assets like plant and machinery, building, etc. So what does this means? So what is the explanation for this definition? So there are incurred by in order to increase the scope of operation and smooth functioning. Then it needs to be capitalized and hence forms a part of a balance sheet under head PPE. Then there are shown in the cash flow statements under the category of investment activities as it is a cash outflow. So we are paying cash. So it is said as a cash outflow. Then what do we understand by capital expenditure versus revenue expenditure? So capital expenditure, there are long-term expenses and the effect continues beyond the current accounting year. So it is not like कि आज मैंने अगर मेरे business में expense किया है तो it is going to remain for this tenure only. No, these capital expenditures are for a longer period of time what we are looking for, or what we are spending for. Revenue expenditure are the short-term expenses and are incurred to maintain day-to-day functioning of any kind of an organization. So day-to-day functioning, अगर मुझे stationery लाना है, if I have to bring tea, if I have to bring any kind of oil for the machinery, if I have to bring cartridge for my printers, if I have to bring any kind of a thing which is necessary, which is essential, I have to bring a what we say, a marker, a duster, or any kind of a since I'm into education industry, I'm giving these kinds of an examples. So this is what is said as a revenue expenditure. So in order to run day-to-day businesses, we need a bill book, right? Purchasing the stationery, then second, any kind of an equipment for day-to-day operations of the business. So that is what is said as a revenue expenditure. So how do we classify these expenses? So expenses incurred for maintaining the operations, expenses incurred for increasing the future growth, expenditure is incurred for business development, research, work expenses. Then expenditure is incurred indirectly for production and expenditure for innovation. So these are the classification of the expenditure. So what is the importance of it? It has effects for a longer tenure. The amount spent on such expenses cannot be reversed. So once they are spent, they are spent. You cannot take it back, or you cannot do anything for these kind of expenses. It has a high cost, then capital expenditure are to be depreciated for the tenure for which they gives benefit. So this is the most important point. We have to depreciate capital expenditure for the tenure for which they give benefits. So let us understand now what revenue expenditures are. It is totally different from capital expenditure. They are not high value items, but they are the routine expenditure in the normal business, which maintains fixed assets. Unlike capital expenditure, it does not increase the revenue but stays maintained. The assets are consumed in an accounting year and they are no future benefits. The asset price are stable or fixed. So the assets are consumed within a year and hence purchase should be made again. This is a recurring expenditure. It is classified into two subcategories. They are direct expenses and indirect expenses. So they consist of the cost of manufacturing raw material to convert into a finished good. So direct expenses which are directly involved into the process of making any kind of a raw material into a finished goods. That is what is said as direct expense. And indirect expenses are then connected to only selling and distribution of goods other than manufacturing. So admin expenses, what are incurred in order to make that finished good reach the market, are said as indirect expenses. So what is the difference between, the distinguish between the capital expenditure as well as the revenue expenditure? So capital expenditure is that amount spent on the more valuable goods or services which is used for a longer duration. This we have seen from the last two slides. Then what do we understand? What is the meaning of revenue expenditure? So revenue expenditure is that amount spent on the more goods or services which is consumed in the shorter duration. So we just have to bifurcate, or we just have to understand that while we say that the capital expenditure is done, always remember it is done for a longer period of time. And when it comes to revenue expenditure, always remember it is done for running the day-to-day business activities as well as for a shorter period of time, not more than 1 year. Okay. So year of benefits, we will derive the benefits from these expenditure in the current year as well as in the future coming years. So what about revenue expenditure? So we will derive the benefits from these expenditure in the current year only. So it is limited to the tenure of 1 year. The duration, capital expenditure has a duration of more than 1 year, and revenue expenditure has a duration of up to 1 year. Financial statement, it will be posted in the balance sheet. Where is the effect of capital expenditure? It will be posted in the balance sheet. And what is the effect of revenue expenditure? It will be posted in the trading and profit and loss account. Since it is a daily routine expense which we are incurring, so that's why they are shown into the trading and profit and loss account. Capitalized, these expenditure will be capitalized, the expenditure will not be capitalized. And then what is the nature? It is non-recurring in nature. Non-recurring in nature in the sense it does not occur again and again. So once I have purchased a plant and machinery or a furniture for my office, I am going to use it until its lifespan ends. Okay. So that is not going to be a recurring expenditure for me. It is one-time expenditure, probably. If I have, I'm looking for a longer period of time of business, then it is, when we say about the revenue expenditures, it is recurring. It can occur on daily basis, right? Need then to improve the working capacity or to grow the business is what is said as capital expenditure to running the existing business capacity properly. Then what is matching? There is not, there are not matched with the capital receipt. So it cannot be matched with the capital receipt. These are matched with the revenue receipt to know the profit and loss for that particular year. So what it is, it has no subcategories. So as we can say, capital expenditure is capital expenditure. That is very clear, right? But revenue expenditure has direct and indirect as bifurcation, what we can say. It has a subcategories. Okay. So what do we understand by capital receipts now? So capital receipts are those receipts that either create liability or reduce an asset. So capital receipts are mentioned above are non-recurring, and these sort of receipts are also not received now and then. So capital receipt, again, as we have seen, capital expenditure is a one-time expenditure. Probably, if we can say, it's not always one time, but yes, for a longer period of time. So again, the capital receipts is it creates a liability or reduce an asset in that context. So capital receipts, as mentioned above, are non-recurring. Again, they are non-recurring as capital expenditure. They do not occur again and again. From the above definition, it is clear that a receipt can be called a capital receipt if it adheres to at least one of the following conditions. So what is the condition? It must create a liability. For an example, if a company takes a loan from a bank or a financial institution, it would create a liability on that particular company. That's why it is capital receipt in nature. But if a company receives a commission for using its expertise in producing a special type of product for another company, it would not be called as capital receipt, but it didn't create, because it didn't create any kind of a liability. So in this context, if I am giving any kind of an expertise and I am receiving any kind of a commission in that context for developing that particular product, I cannot say that it is a capital receipt. So ideally, when it is a capital receipt, it generates by default a liability towards you. So what are the types of capital receipts? Capital receipts can be classified into three types. That is borrowing funds. So when a company takes loan from a bank or any kind of a financial institution, it is called borrowing funds. So borrowing funds from a financial institution is one of the three forms of capital receipts. So next comes recovery of the loan. So to recover loan, often the company needs to set aside one part of the asset, which reduces the value of the asset. So it is the second type of a capital receipt. Other capital receipts, what we can say are, we call the third type of receipts other capital receipts. Under this, we include disinvestment and small savings. So disinvestment means selling off a part of a business or a part of infrastructure, a building. So that is what is said as disinvestment. So disinvestment is called capital receipt because it reduces the assets of the company. Small savings are called capital receipts because they create a liability for that particular business. So I hope everybody is clear about what is capital expenditure and what is revenue expenditure, and as well as capital receipts. So what do we understand by revenue receipts? So revenue receipts neither create any kind of a liability nor it reduces any kind of an asset. So it needs to satisfy both these conditions, then only we can say it as a revenue receipt. So revenue receipts are those receipts that neither reduce the company's assets nor create any kind of a liability. They are always recurring in nature and earned during the normal course of the business. So in the previous slide, as we have seen, the revenue expenditure are recurring on continuous basis. They occur on continuous basis for the smooth functioning of the business. So again, it is said as revenue receipts are of similar terms. It does not create any kind of a liability, but yes, it is recurring in nature and earned during the normal course of the business. So from the definition, it is clear that any type of a receipt needs to satisfy one of the two conditions to be called as revenue receipts. So first, it must not reduce the assets of the company. And second, it must not create any kind of a liability on the company. That is what is said as a revenue receipt. So let's understand what does revenue receipts and capital receipts means. I mean the differentiation of it. So capital receipts are income from non-recurring stream, non-usual operation. Revenue receipts are income that is earned from day-to-day operations. So capital receipts are received, the sources. What are the sources of capital receipts? So they are received from financial and investing activities. So revenue receipts are received from sales, discount from customers, etc. These are called as the revenue receipts. So what is the nature of it? Capital receipts are non-recurring in nature and revenue receipts are always recurring in nature. So what is the condition which needs to be fulfilled? So capital receipt must create a liability or lead to a reduction in the asset. There is no such condition for the revenue receipts. So revenue receipt must not reduce the asset nor create any kind of a liability. So term, tenure, capital receipts are for a longer period of time again, and revenue receipts on the other hand are of shorter term in nature. So reserves, capital receipts are not used to create any kind of a reserve fund. Revenue receipts can be used to create reserved funds. Then when we say how do we do the accounting of these two receipts, that is capital receipt comes in the balance sheet of the company and revenue receipts on the other hand are shown in profit and loss account. Then what is the purpose of it? So again, capital receipts used to meet capital expenditure, pay debts, buy assets, and revenue receipts are used to meet revenue expenses such as rent, electricity, and salary. Then impact on P&L account, that is capital receipts do not have direct impact on any kind of a profit and loss account. So revenue receipts directly has an impact on the profit and loss account. Impact on balance sheet. So capital receipts could either drop the asset value or rise the liability. Revenue receipts has no direct impact on the value of the assets or liabilities. So this is the bifurcation of capital receipts and revenue receipts. If we understand into the proper layman language, you will be able to understand what is the difference between a capital expenditure and a revenue expenditure, or a capital receipt and a revenue receipt. So I hope it is very clear to everybody. So let us understand who are the users of accounting information in this context. So if we can see, there are bifurcated into internal and external users of the accounting. I mean, the accounting information, what we publish, what we furnish, it is utilized by the two sets of users, stakeholders, we can say. Those are internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. So when we say about the internal stakeholders, they are said as owners or stockholders, shareholders of the company, then directors, managers, many internal department officers, and employees. So these are said as the internal stakeholders. So what is the accounting information which is required for these kind of stakeholders? So that is balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flow, statement of owner's equity. These are established by the accountants. So these four disclosures, statements disclosure has to be made to the internal, or what we say, stakeholders. Then let us see who are the external stakeholders in this context. So investors, definitely, unless and until investors understand what is the condition of your company, how they would invest in your company, right? Then comes creditors, then lawmakers or economic planners, then government regulatory agencies, trading partners, labor unions, customers, so suppliers, SEC, tax authorities, Chamber of Commerce, press, competitors, and definitely the auditors. So these are said as the users of accounting information. So as we have seen the internal stakeholders in the previous slide, I will go through in detail like owners and stockholders or shareholders, if we can say. Then second are directors, managers, officers, internal departments, employees, and internal auditors. So these are said as the internal stakeholders of the company. So disclosure of the financial conditions is mandatory for these kind of internal users. So external users of accounting, again, what we have seen as creditors, investors, government, trading partners, regulatory agencies, international standardization agencies, and journalists. So again, press, what we can say. So these are the external users of the accounting, and definitely the portfolio managers who are managing the portfolio for any kind of a fund or any kind of a thing, and your company is involved into that particular fund. So it's a part of that particular fund. So definitely these facts and figures need to be disclosed to such kind of a portfolio managers as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope the concepts for capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, as well as revenue receipts and capital receipts would be clear to you. Thank you so much. See you in the next video with definitely new concepts. Thank you so much.